Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the May 5th, 2023 lunar eclipse in Scorpio, part 2 of 2. Now, it's also important to look at the electional aspects this lunar eclipse makes, as this could impact how it affects others. This is going to make at least a loose conjunction to the South Node in Scorpio. The South Node can reflect what we're going away from. Full moon, lunar eclipses can be about endings and culminations. This could reaffirm and reinforce an ending of something, because what you're leaving behind is generally something that is coming to an end. Um, this could be about an ending when leaving behind a turbulent and controlling situation. Um, at home, as an example, the moon does reflect the home. If this falls in the fourth house, that could reaffirm that. It could be like a spouse exhibiting unnecessary power and control over a person, something associated with coercion and bullying may come to an end for some. The South Node is also associated with the past. Again, full moon slash lunar eclipses can be about revelations and unveilings. Someone from the past may come to light. With this being in Scorpio, it may be someone that was empowering, transforming, and resourceful. It may be a Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant person, or one that embodies those characteristics. With this falling on the lunar eclipse, it could be a rekindling, that could be life altering, it could be a major turning point for some. It's also important to look at other electional transits at this time, as they will be intensified and amplified because they're taking place at the same time as this lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Transit Sun in Taurus will conjoin Uranus at this time. This transit aspect can indicate an intense focus on the future. It could also manifest in putting attention on valuing one's freedom. There may be a strong desire to shine in creating something innovative and unique. And with this being in Taurus, it may be associated with something Taurus related, such as geology, gardening, cultivation, farming, art, or architecture, as some examples. The fact this is falling on the lunar eclipse could indicate it could be more accentuated and emphasized, and again, could be a monumental turning point in one's life. It could be life altering for some people. Now, another thing I want to get at this lunar eclipse. This could be, this could also reflect the departure um, of a prominent female in one's life. In some cases, it could be an actual Taurus sun, moon, or ascendant, or one that embodies those traits. It may be someone, you know, that's actually, I should say, maybe be kind and rewind. It could be, so it could actually be a Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant. I'm sorry. It may be someone, that was very resourceful, resilient, passionate, empowering, and probing. It may also be someone that was overly manipulative, jealous, surreptitious, vengeful, and controlling. Sometimes endings and culminations can be blessings in disguise. Endings and culminations are not always bad. They could often signify new beginnings. Now, let's say if this falls in the seventh house, it could increase the chance of this person, if there's a departure of a prominent female in one's life, it could be a marriage partner or significant other. If it falls in the fourth house, and maybe the less dominant parent, which is often the mother, and If it falls in the 10th house, it may be someone that was in a position of authority over you. Also, too, I believe that lunar eclipses can be serendipitous. What may start out as something negative or adverse may actually manifest into something positive. Let's say that this eclipse occurs in the 10th house of the career. Let's say that somebody is let go from their position. Obviously, it can be a very devastating and traumatic experience for some people when that happens. Let's say the person leaves their place of their former business, okay, and he starts walking down the road, right? And the person notices a fire at an apartment complex. Now he sees a construction worker nearby using a crane, and this person instructs the worker to use his crane to maneuver it in order to save people from the burning building. The worker proceeds to save a number of people from certain peril as a result of him assisting with the heroic efforts. This person is offered a position with that construction crew company that pays more than where he was working previously, where the person was terminated from. So, I do see this where it can be serendipitous again when something, initially is negative, actually can turn out into something of a more positive nature. So, anyway, well, another thing I noticed too is that Cinco de Mayo, Mexican holiday, is going to fall on this day. Now, this holiday is a day that commemorates and honors the day when Mexico emerged victorious over the Second French Empire. Now, as most holidays go, many people will be partying on this day, and to top it off, this will fall on a Friday, and parties often involve alcohol. Many people may lose their inhibitions. With this falling on the lunar eclipse, emotions can be very intensified. And with this being in Scorpio, emotions that could be very intense, powerful, convoluted, and turbulent, and even destructive. As I stated before, accidents can be more prevalent on full moon lunar eclipses, and many, or at least some people, may have accidents that may be due to losing control of their vehicle. And Scorpio is associated with control. Anybody attending Cinco de Mayo parties, you really need to be exceptionally careful, especially because this is falling on a lunar eclipse. I would not be surprised if there was a major earthquake somewhere on this day. Full moon lunar eclipses can be very powerful energy. And earthquakes, of course, can be very powerful and intense. The lunar eclipse in Scorpio can be powerful, destructive, and intense. The moon will oppose Uranus, which rules earthquakes, and Sun in Taurus is connected with the Earth, will conjoin Uranus at this time, and this could put more of a focus on earthquakes. And we had a major earthquake took place when we had that full moon in Leo in February of this year, and it took place. It was in Syria and Turkey. It was on February 6, 2023, but it was actually, though, in the U.S. it was February 5th, 2023, and that was when the full moon did take place. There were nearly 60,000 casualties as a result of that earthquake. It was obviously very catastrophic. And at the time, the sun was opposing the moon. Uranus was also making a square, to the sun at that time, which rules life. and the moon, and it was squaring the moon as well, which is connected with emotional security in homes. Leo energy could be very loud and vociferous, to say the absolute least. So, when you have this energy, I wouldn't be surprised if we had, somewhere in the world there may be a major earthquake. Would not be surprised in the least. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. And until next time, Edwin Learning saying stay well.